What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sunday's market review on US 30. All right, everybody, so check this out. Pretty much we're looking at the monthly right now, and as we're seeing on the monthly, US 30 has wicked down. It's grabbed liquidity here, and it obviously continued to push upwards, so we could assume that there's a probability that it's targeting the most recent all-time highs that were formed in July, right? Now if we go to the weekly, we could see that a higher low has been formed here. This wick came down here August 24th, came down, grabbed liquidity all in these areas right here, came down, and then the following week, which was last week, it's been pushing upwards, right? So what are we expecting for this week coming up? Obviously, there are higher highs, higher lows. So the market right now, as we see it, is continuing to trend upwards, right? Let me actually pull this up right here, kind of show you guys what I'm looking at. You know, if we look at this right here, we could clearly see that, oops, wait a minute. Actually, not what I was looking at. So if we take a trend line here, we could clearly see that US 30 has contacted 3 times, connected once, twice, 3 times. So this makes it a valid trend line. So it's continuing to push upwards, right? So for a swing trade, what I'll pretty much wait for is for buy side liquidity up here to be swept, and then I'll pretty much grab it on the way down back to a discount zone down here. That's one scenario, right? If we look at the daily, we could clearly see that on the daily, yes, it closed below this swing low here. It came down, but it still formed a higher low in comparison to this swing low here and these swing lows in this particular area right here, you know. So this is still trending very, very bullish. Do I expect the move to go completely straight up? Obviously not. You know, there's, you know, always a retracement. So we could look at most likely the weekly high being taken out. Then after the weekly high is taken out, a little retracement down to this imbalance here that we have in this area right here, and then we could possibly see the next push coming upwards to buy side liquidity here, and then entering price discovery, right? In this zone right here is, once liquidity is swept here, I'll probably enter a trade for a possible 1,405 point swing on my swing account, of course, right? Now for the open, for US 30, I do trade the 930 open for US 30, but for that scenario, I pretty much like to wait for around, you know, 8:30 to see what London has done the previous day or so. But I trade US 30 on my scalping sessions pretty much on this chart right here. And all these lines that you're seeing are actually levels. So these are 4-hour key levels, 1-hour key level, 15-minute key levels, and so forth and so on. So let's say that on a scalp, right? Let's say that price during London comes down here, right? And let's say that price was to break below here at 9:30, right? Let me draw this zone out in gray, right? So let's say that price was to come down here and break below this level, then I'll most likely, what I'll do, right, I will most likely come here, right, and I will wait for that level to break, right, and I will most likely trade this with a 40 point stop, well, 40 point stop, yeah, 40 point stop at 9:30, and I'll probably catch it for about 80 points or so. I'll probably do something like this at 9:30 if that level was to break, or let's say that price is already up here by London, you know, then I'll probably come down here and I'll catch that trade around this zone right here to most likely this swing low down here. That's how that pretty much work out for me. Remember that when you're trading, you're literally only trading the probability, right? So what I like to do, I like to personally take high probability trades, right? So this is pretty simple, right? So from swing low to swing high, right, there's always going to be a premium zone and there's always going to be a discount zone, right? So over this 50% zone here, right, this is considered premium, right? So price will most likely retrace 50%, which is right in this OB right here, right in this imbalance right here, right? Tap this and continue its way back up, right? So for this scenario right now, right, I would obviously want to take a long because I don't like to really trade against the trend. So I'll probably wait for price to come up here, break this level right here, and then I'll catch that upwards for about 80 points or so, on my scalping account. 1 second, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing here with US30. I always like to look at what's happening at the left, right? So we could always see that price for US30 always consolidates and then it makes its move, right? Price never goes straight up in one direction. That's just not how price action works. It always goes from external, internal, external liquidity zones, right? Because all that the market does is really manufacture liquidity. That's all that the market does. So yeah, for me, trading is all about risk management and being detached from the actual P&L. And I say that because of this, because quite frankly, if you really understand the charts and you know what's going on, right, and you understand price action and you understand trend, liquidity zones, right, and so forth and so on, you're trading. If you trade the right way and you manage risk, the byproduct is that you're going to be a profitable trader. If you're a beginner trader and you're getting into this with the idea that you're going to get rich overnight, that's not reality. To master any skill, it takes about 10,000 hours of real work. Real work meaning that you're back testing, you're forward testing, for at least the first year. And then after that, then you're going to have a foundation that you're, now a funded trader. You have multiple funded accounts. You know how to manage accounts. You're not just blowing challenges left and right like most beginner traders. You're not assuming that price is going to go somewhere. You're not in a space where if you lose a trade, you internalize that like you're like this bad trader. At times, trades just don't go your way, That's why you have to give yourself the most opportunities per day. That's why I trade only 16 times per day. Per month, right? So I take 16 trades and I'm okay losing 6, but those 10 outweigh those 6 losses and I end up being profitable at the end of the month. And that's just how it works, But you have to be patient with your learning curve, patient with yourself, and understand that if you're putting in the real work, eventually you're gonna cross that bridge and achieve whatever you have in mind that is your version of success. This is just a platform that allows you to express yourself. That's pretty much how I see it. Either way, with that being said, guys, this is my breakdown for US30. I am anticipating for buy side to be swept up here at this level right here and this level right here, and then from that moment forward on my swing account, then I'll basically come down and grab this for about 1,000 and something points, give or take. Let's see how that looks like on the daily, and it looks the same way on the daily, you know. So we could have a TP zone at this swing low here, which actually matches up with my EQ level, which is right at discount. That's also something else. Let's say that your TP is right at this level. It's not supposed to hit that level, you know. Nobody gets their TP completely accurate, right? So let's say that I'm aiming for liquidity underneath these wicks to be swept, right? I'm gonna literally target this close right here. That's literally what I'm targeting, right? Because that's a safer exit. Or I might even just put it right above that candle, just in case it doesn't really go there, you know, which it probably will, but just in case, you know. So you always want to TP a little bit before your actual target. You know, like if we sit here and we do some math, right, on how to actually properly trade, right? Sit here and we're gonna wait for the calculator to pretty much pop up, right? Right. That's fine. All right, so let's say that we do some math, right? And we're like, all right, 16 trading days, right? 16 trading days, right? Right. And let's say that scalping, I make about $500 a trade, right? Boom, right? That's $8,000 a month, right? Now, let's say that I lose 5 trades, right, per month, right? And I win 11 times 500, right? So that means that I'm literally making $5,500 on a $50,000 account, right? Now, let's say that I had 20 of those accounts, right? That means that I'm making per month $110,000. You see how this works? It's like, it's not about your daily P&L. It's about your monthly P&L. You know, that's what matters most. And why people fail is because they continue to trade differently every day, every time. You have to come up with a solid trading plan. And once you come up with your solid trading plan and solid trading strategy, and you stick to just that same strategy day after day, no matter if you win or lose, you know, eventually you're able to see the results of that. But if one day you trade this way, the next day you trade that way, you know, the data that you're retrieving is not congruent. That's why it's important to have the discipline and patience with yourself and just the markets in general, you know, and trade the same way every single day, you know. Don't over leverage, don't over risk, you know. This is all, for me at least, it's 90% psychology and it's 10% charts. And I would even go as far as to say it's 95% psychology and 5% charting. Because in trading, what I realized is that the faster that you try to go, the slower that you actually go. You know, every day is not going to present an opportunity, and that's okay. But people have this idea that they want to get to $1 million tomorrow, and quite frankly, it doesn't work that way. You know, this stuff takes time for everybody. You know, for traders that are institutional traders, trading with Chase and Bank of America, and retail traders like us. It takes time to develop our relationship and sync with the instrument that you chose. You know, for me, that's US30. You know, I like the volume that it provides. It gives me the amount of you know, points that I need, that I'm able to extract from the market to provide a lifestyle for my family. Understand? And that comes with time, you know, a lot of time, you know, for you to realize, okay, how am I going to go about this? Because there's different ways to skin the cat. Understand? But that's pretty much my analysis for this week. It's pretty obvious, you know, this is trending bullish. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Also join my Discord. I will upload setups that I'm looking at, whether it's at 9:30 or during the afternoon for a day trade. I hope that all of you have enjoyed this. Stay tuned.